Hello, fellow spacers. I'm Average Arcader, and I would like to invite you on a journey through the Outer Worlds. In this journey, we will explore every main story mission, as well as all the side quests, taking a look at all the main ways we can complete them. Also, looking at all the different consequences that come from all these missions. Now, before we get started, I have to say, I love this game. Anyone who has been looking for a fun, well-written RPG needs to go pick this game up immediately. I highly recommend it. Like, just go right now. Pause the video, go pick the game up, come back. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start our journey. Now, our story begins on a colony ship named Hope. We are revived from stasis by a Dr. Phineas. After reviving us, he tells us that we have been in stasis for 70 years. But we're only supposed to be in stasis for 10. It's dangerous if you're in stasis longer than that. For whatever reason, the company that owns everything decided to leave us in stasis. But he manages to revive us, but we almost die in the process. He has to use a special chemical to keep us alive. But now he's out of it. So in order to save the rest of the colonists on the ship, he needs more of that special chemical. Unfortunately, he can't go down to the planet because there's a bounty out for him. So he sends us. Now, we'll start out by him sending us down to Terra 2 to meet a smuggler that he's hired so that we can get more of that chemical. Let's get started.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you. Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Now, later on through the story, we find out that Hawthorne character was actually pretty interesting. I would have actually liked to meet him, but unfortunately, we can't. So let's keep going through our journey. After we leave our escape pod, we go through a little tutorial area that shows us the basic controls. After that, we enter into a cave where we meet Guard Pelham.
You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings.
Wow, that doesn't look good. Sit still, I'll patch you up.
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange for my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
That's weird. Spacer's what?
Oh, we're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. Not that I deserve to be. Can't even deliver a company slogan. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
Well, I guess that's brave, but you're hiding in a cave and you blocked off the exit? You're as good as dead.
Spacer's Choice policy clearly stipulates that dead and as good as dead are two completely different properties of matter. Unless I'm dead, I'm contractually obligated to attend to my post. I will report that illegally grounded spacecraft if it is the last thing I do. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
That doesn't sound like a good idea at all. Wait a second. That's the ship I'm supposed to take. Someone's grounded their ship illegally? I'll hunt them down for you.
You'd better take my gun then. Careful, it's worth more to the company than I am. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
No matter how you choose to answer, he gives you his gun. Now, Guard Pelham, can you tell me where I am?
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Okay, well, thanks for the information, but before I go, do you know anything about the Hope?
The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Okay, well, thanks anyway. See you later. So, after we get done talking to Guard Pelham, we can use the weapon that he gave us to blow open the crates that are in front of the cave, blocking the entrance, so that we can make our way outside to get our first taste of combat with a small group of marauders.
What just happened?
After we get done with that small group of marauders, we can make our way into the next area where we see a ship, and off to the side we can meet Lieutenant Mercer.
Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech! Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
Well, technically that's our ship, so we better play it cool. So I heard I found one of your teammates held up in a cave.
Really? How is he?
He's alive, but unfortunately he's still a moron. I was hoping you're a little bit brighter.
Of course I am. I'm a superior officer. Stands to reason, don't it? Just you watch. I'll cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
Well, you know, I'm getting kind of low on ammo. I don't want to have to take them all out by myself. Let me see if I can convince them to help me. You know, I bet you could get those marauders to tell you where the owner of that ship is.
You think? Most marauders can't even talk. But criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be f***ing laminated.
Here we go.
Now, the fight really isn't that hard. There's only a few marauders down here. and with the help of Lieutenant Mercer and Private Kimball, you can easily wipe them. Okay, now that the Marauders have been cleared out, we can finally enter the ship and meet the ship's computer, Ada.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Okay, what are you gonna do? Self-destruct?
Jetstream procedures initiated. Please engage in airlocks. Prepare to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You realize we're on the ground, right?
You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Well, I'm very sorry to disappoint you, but is this Hawthorne's ship?
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Hawthorne was supposed to meet me when I landed.
I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location.
Oh no, he met my escape pod, alright. Head first.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand?
I get it. You need me to be Captain Hawthorne, or you can't fly.
Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
I doubt I'll find a part like that just sitting in a garage.
Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
Yeah, Ada, I got it. Thanks.
Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
After we're done talking to Ada, we can leave the ship and then make our way to the town of Edgewater to see if we can find a power regulator. But as soon as we leave the ship, we are pulled to the side by Lieutenant Mercer.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
Wait. You've got it all wrong, my friend. I am a starship safety instructor, thank you.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Once we're done talking to her, we can finally head to Edgewater. On our way there, we clear out a few more marauders before we finally walk up to the town gates, where we meet a man tending to some grave sites.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend.
I know, My pod crashed in the hills back there.
Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
Well, thanks for that advice. Say, I never got your name. I'm Average Arcader.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Who do I talk to about a regulator?
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer?
You offering me a job? I will need the money.
Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see?
I get it. You want me to collect what's owed to you. I can do that.
4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
I'll get back to you when I'm done. Now, we will fully explore his side quests in a later video, where I plan on looking at all the side quests for the area. But for now, we're going to focus on the main quest line. So, heading into town, we can head straight to the Saltuna Cannery, where we go in and head up the elevator. There we'll find Mr. Reed, who is the leader of the town.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Uniform? I think you may have the wrong idea about me, buddy.
Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm here looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we've got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Well, doesn't look like we got that many options, so let's hear it.
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
What do you mean by mostly abandoned?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
There's always complications. Tell me what I need to do.
The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters. Former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Well, all right, Reed. I'll see what I can do to help.
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
Well, if they're all following Adelaide, what if Adelaide doesn't want to come back?
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Well, if you think she will listen, I guess all I can do is head over and see if I can get her to come back. I'll see what I can do then, Reed.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure, I could use the company, not to mention somebody watching my back.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Now, there are multiple ways for us to go in the main quest line from here. We will explore all those ways, along with some of the side quests as well, in our next video. Unfortunately, I'm out of time. So if you did like this video and you stayed to the end, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and also hit that notification button. It really helps the channel grow, not to mention it informs you when we have our next video so you can take this journey with us. So until next time, I'm Average Arcader. Thank you very much for watching.